Hello friends, good morning, good afternoon. In this session, we are going to see scope identity function and at the rate identity in SQL Server. And in the last session, we seen how to create the identity on column, correct? And so we will go through the details about it in this session. Scope identity and at the rate identity return us the last identity values that are generated in the any table in the current session. Means suppose this is the one session, and if I create the new session, actually this session is nothing but the SP ID, correct? Means suppose this is the 55, this is the 67, this is the 71, this is the 54. This is nothing but the one SP ID. If I am at here new query SP underscore who2, so it will return us the whatever the running sessions on the server. Means whatever there is a background some sleeping session, and you could see there is a 55 or a 67. Means 67, yeah, here is the on which database name practice waiting for the command. Means it will wait for the next command. And uh, and suppose if you are running any query, then it is in a running mode, means status is running. So such like that we are getting all the sessions information at here. Means here is the SPID, you could see, correct? Here is the 55 means runnable. Right now I am in a 55, it is in the runnable mode. Select into whatever that command in the available in that session, so you will get at here. Means there is a command heading, means either insert, update, delete, select, alter, correct? So yeah, and who is the login? Means right now SA is the login. If I am making it as a billing user or a means in a SQL project, I explained how to create the security in a brief, but I will show you how to create security. Means that particular restrictions. Means suppose the some users having the limited rights, so they can log in and we can see their name from here login name, correct? And they are using which database, so all the informations we are getting from the sp2 command. Yeah, it is just for your information. As I miss, I have to explain about the miss current session, correct? So that's why. And scope identity return the value inserted within the current scope. Means suppose here is the one session, and in that whatever that value returns, means suppose in any table you inserted any value, and at the end there is an identity value generated, correct? So that value we will get with the help of the scope identity, and same value we will get using the at the rate identity within the that session. But if you are any stored procedure calling from that session, then they there is a scope is the different, correct? So this is nothing but the at the global level, and it is at the local session level. So let's see, actually this is the theoretical point of view, but yeah, in practical point of view we will see it, so that you will get the better idea, correct? What I am right now, I am first of all I am dropping the table. So drop table, correct? And here I am creating one table. Means create table identity example, correct? And in a one stroke there is alter button you have to press, and it means just you can, means no need to copy paste at some time. So here I am inserting 5 records in it. So if you select star from identity example, select star from identity example, so you will get 5 records, correct? And there is a uh, 5 values in it, right? And right now if you check, there is a 5 value of the particular table we seen it in the previous session, correct? And right now we are going to see about scope identity and at the rate identity. So both are returning us the same value because we are in a same session, correct? This is nothing but the SPID means same session. And I have to say you one more thing. Suppose from .NET or Java or means from C# point of view, you are VB.NET, you executing the one query. So that is nothing but the one session, and that data is inserted into the table, and then again result back to the uh, application, correct? So that one flow is nothing but the one session, and when again it will hit to the database, then that will create the another session. So there is nothing but the one session created to the database, and then again go back to the his original position, and means after that they are selecting the data on UI. So there are some different sessions in background, correct? And means they are for fraction of second, they are in a runnable state, they are in a means first of all they are in a waiting, then runnable, then running, then means execution is completed, and then they get back to the their original position. Means such a cycle is complete. And one more thing, what I am doing, I am creating the one stored procedure here. I will explain all the details about the stored procedure in detail, but right now here is the just example. Means I'm inserting the one value into the identity example table, correct? And yeah, here is the SP. And what that stored procedure is doing, stored procedure is inserting data into the table, correct? This is nothing but the uh, skeleton of the stored procedure. Means create procedure, procedure name as begin and end, and in that you have to mention the code. So I'm executing this stored procedure, correct? The stored procedure is executed, and copy it, sorry, paste it. So again I am you inserting one more record in it, or first of all I am inserting 6 right now. All two having means there is a both are the functions having the 6 and 6 value, correct? So the stored procedure is doing the same thing, correct? So what I am doing, I am executing this stored procedure. So in table you will get 7 record, correct? And if you see identity current value is the 7, right? And if you execute this both function, then you will get the 6 and 7. Why? Because from this stored procedure we are calling, means that value is inserting, means it is the global level, means from another session, which is the latest identity value of any table. So which returns, that is nothing but the identity value. Mean it is at the global level, global level, and it is at the local session level. So this is the very important. And yeah, local level. So yeah, global scope value and local scope value, I am executing it. Yeah, means here is the 6 is the last one value, and here is the 6 value. Got it? So this is nothing but the practically we seen, and those are the variables. Actually, this is the at the rate variable. These are the means global level variables. We can say those are starting with at the rate. Means one example I have to you. So row count is the global variable, means how many records affected in the background when we execute this stored procedure, or when we execute this command. Means select star from student, sorry, select star from identity example, and I am executing it the row count, execute it. So how much record is it? Means there are the 7 records are affected, means we are getting the 7 records. So that's why at the rate row count will return us the 7. So means those are appending, means there is a prefix is the at the rate, those are the global variables. and which returns the value. And yeah, prob at that indicates this means they are defined at the global level. Means all the sessions, one, two, three, or a n number of sessions, means they are written as the global value. Got it? I hope this is the means you are clear about the I at the rate identity and scope identity. Only simple difference. If they are calling in a one session, they will return us the same value. If means from the same session, the other stored procedure or any trigger, the scope is changed. At that time, the at the rate identity will give us the global value, correct? And scope identity will always return as the local value. And I have there is a in practical when to use it. This is the important. Actually, suppose they I'm having a one table like the right now I instead of select there is a product header and product detail or yeah, this is the perfect example. Means suppose there are two tables, invoice header and invoice detail. Means actually the invoice amount is the 500, but there are two products in it. One product having cost is 300 and one product cost is uh, 200. So means summation is the 500. So there is a means segregation and in of invoice details means there are two entries in this table and one entry in invoice header table. So we have to take the id means first of all we have to insert the data in invoice header, and that invoice header entry is we are inserting into the invoice details means for which invoice those details are saving, correct? So let's say miss there is a id and customer name miss cust id miss who then bill id and actually instead of id I am use the bill id so it is better. Bill id and customer id bill id then amount, yeah whatever actually a number of fields but I'm just taking the yeah first customer amount is 500. And right now this id is into the we have to insert into the here is the bill details id, bill details id and bill details id contain one and yeah this is the yeah here no need to mention because customer we are having that means who bought that particular products, so we are getting all the customer value or information from here. And here is the 300 and there is a one more row means here is the detail information but bill id belongs to one only. So this is the segregation means two products and here is the actually summarized information. So first of all we will insert the data in it and we are getting the value. So from application side we are taking the data table and we are inserting the data. First of all we are inserting the data into the header table and then we are inserting the data into the detail table, correct? Here we are taking the scope identity means for that session which one is the uh, suppose means from application side right now I am considering the application. First of all means application bring the data from the UI and it will insert into the database, and it will connect to the first of all bill id table, means whatever stored procedure is called bill id will generate, and from that it will take the scope identity, and same scope identity will pass to the bill id, correct, and it will insert into the bill details, means invoice table details, first of all in invoice header and then invoice detail. And one more thing, actually, you could do, there is a ident current information, correct? With the help of that, we can use that as well. Means whatever that identity, insert the data in it first, and then grab the current identity value of that particular. But there is a problem. Why problem? Because suppose you inserted this first record and other customer, sorry, other user will insert another record. So yeah, I will show you exact issue. Means there is a second, and the customer ID is the 88, and he bought 1000 rupees, correct? Right now I am not, I am saying it as a here ident current, correct? And here I have to insert two more records here, 3 and then 4, 88, 400 and 600. Here we can mention the product ID as well, whatever that product ID. Right now I am mention it as a 1 2 3 4 2 3 or 2, no problem. So then again quantity is come into the picture, means product plus quantity is equal to amount, okay. And right now, yeah, I'm just mentioning the product ID just for your clarification. Here there is another one column quantity, and 3 2 into 1 is equal to 200, but 2 into 3 is equal to 600, so such a like that. 3 3 quantity. Here is the 3 is the quantity, okay. And so same time both the miss person, means there are some two users, means one miss application hit by the two users at a time, then first one insert the data as a id1, correct? And same thing for, means there is a insert by the another, and who's actually bill id is equal to 2. But if he say yeah, current identity, and at the same time third one is coming, and third one insert the data, right? Here is the 55, and let's say 200 rupees. Hmm? And so uh, when he insert, at that time he will retrieve the data, but within that fraction of second the data is insert here, correct? So he will get, it might get three value, correct? Means in between that there is a, means fraction of second there is a there is a third value, then it will again insert, means again stop three value, means there is a uh, three, but actually it should be a true, means there is a, it should be a two value, means he will insert the data as a, sorry, here is the, not the bill id, here is the two bill id against of this two id, right? So instead of that ident current, use the scope identity, means he will retrieve the data from that current session, and perfect ID will go into the child table. Means once this is insert, two is insert, then in the child table two will be the insert, and then the next user will come, he inserting three. Then whatever the details of that particular bill details, so based on the products, so he mention means actually he will write that particular query. This 3 is the bill ID, and based on that particular whatever the products and whatever the quantity are here. So, and if you have to check what is the current identity value, so with the help of that you can check using the current and identity example. So yeah, what I am explaining all these things because you know the proper application of which function. That's why means where to use scope identity, where to use identity at that time. Actually, in this scenario, scope identity is a matter, and in this is the real time example. And yeah, actually, in most of the interview point of view, they will just ask what is the difference between the scope identity and at the rate identity. But this is the logical point of view, and you have to use it in a practical manner. Yeah, that's it. And if you have any if you require any notes or if you have any doubts, please go through this blog. Actually, I explained all the things at here. Means there is a from technical perspective as well, from notes point of view as well. Means there is a query are I written at here, and yeah, and still you have any doubts, then please let me know in the comment section, or you can directly connect me on Instagram channel. No problem. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, please share it and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.